As the 2016 presidential race continues to heat up, many presidential candidates are talking about the current race for House Speaker.
And Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz didn't shy away from the topic during a campaign stop in Fort Dodge yesterday. Cruz is known as one of the most outspoken conservatives in the Senate. He has significant influence with House conservatives unhappy with outgoing House Speaker John Boehner's leadership. Cruz told reporters in Iowa he's hopeful the new speaker will revitalize the congressional GOP.
We are seeing dramatic changes in Washington, and I think Speaker Boehner's resignation is a recognition that Republican leadership has not been doing its job, has not been honoring the promises that we made to the men and women who elected. It's my hope that House Republicans, when we get back in a week, will select as the Speaker a strong conservative and someone who, number one, is committed to being faithful to honoring the promises we make, remembering who we work for. You know, they're too often Republican leadership acts as if they work for the lobbyists in Washington on K Street and Wall Street.
While Senator Ted Cruz made stops in Iowa, 8 other presidential candidates met at the No Labels Convention in New Hampshire. About 1,500 attendees heard 8 candidates, including Donald Trump, Senator Bernie Sanders, and Senator Lindsey Graham, among others. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie also spoke and reminded listeners of the possible government shutdown.
If the federal government closes down sometime in the next couple of weeks, that is a pox not only in the House of Congress, it's a pox on the President of the United States, because he has an obligation, too, to bring people in the room and get them to agree. So everyone is a failure when that happens. It hasn't happened on my watch in New Jersey, and if I'm president, it won't happen then either.
CNN's coverage of the first Democratic presidential debate begins this evening. The Republicans made quite an impression with their 2 presidential debates.
Now it's the Democrats' turn. We've got a preview of the showdown.
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
You know her. And by now, you probably know him. But do you know them? Martin O'Malley, Lincoln Chafee, and Jim Webb, each looking for a Carly Fiorina moment of their own Tuesday night, hoping a strong performance.
It's not about the words, it's about the action.
Leads to points in the polls. All 3 registering at less than 1% in the latest CNN ORC poll in Nevada. That has Clinton with a healthy 50% of support in that state.
For each of these candidates, they have to define themselves, and the public understands that every election's about the future, and that's what they want to hear about.
And even though there will likely be questions about Secretary Clinton's email server, which President Obama called a mistake on 60 Minutes Sunday night, Bernie Sanders, who leads her in New Hampshire, plans to focus on something else.
I happen to respect and like Hillary Clinton, so I don't get into personal attacks, you know that. But are there differences of opinion that should be discussed? Of course there are. That's what an election is about.
And if Vice President Joe Biden decides to join the race, there is a 6th podium waiting for him in Vegas. In Washington, I'm Diane Gallagher reporting.
Again, a reminder for those of you who wanted to watch the debate tonight, CNN's coverage of the first Democratic presidential debate of 2016 election cycle will kick off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on tonight from Las Vegas. You can watch it on CNN or at CNN Go. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Senator Bernie Sanders, former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, former Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee, and former Virginia Senator Jim Webb will all be in attendance. Anderson Cooper will be moderating.